Hello everyone, welcome to my channel where we not only talk about personal psychology, ways to improve your life, but also deal with psychology of politics, religion and finance. So today's video is about how to reduce your anxious feelings or how to reduce your anxiety. This is a very hot topic. I get asked this question multiple times by many people, and that's why I think this video will be helpful for all of you over here. So this is a follow-up video of my first video about what is an anxiety, and if you have to understand what is anxiety, you can get the video link up over here or maybe down below in the description section of the video. So without any further delay, let's get started. So when it comes to reducing your anxiety, there are many techniques at my disposal, but I will have to be very honest with you because I won't be able to help you with all those techniques because many of those techniques require my own intervention. I have to do it one-to-one. What I have done and what I can do through these videos interaction is that I can give you techniques that through these videos, which is simple in nature, but are also effective, right? And that's what I have done. So let's first understand the pattern of anxious thoughts. And then we will go over a few of the techniques that can really help you manage those anxious thoughts and feelings. The first thing to reduce your anxiety is to know your anxiety, and that is why the first step is called KYD. What does that mean? KYD stands for Know Your Devil, right? We all have heard about Know Your Customer, KYC, that we do in banks, but we never understand ourselves, right? What we never understand the feelings that we go through, right? So that is why the first step to reducing anything, any negative feeling, is to know your anxiety. Let's bisect and dissect it and get to know each other. So anxiety is a form of a negative emotion that stems from future thoughts. Now let me explain. There are other negative emotions that are from past thoughts, but anxiety is a negative emotion that is in the future. So as a person, if you are anxious, that tells me that somehow, for some reason, you are anxious about your upcoming future. Now the future can be short term, it can be mid term, it can be long term, right? I don't know that. But this tells me that somehow, in some way, you are anxious about what is going to happen with you in your life, with somebody else in the future, right? Correct? You cannot be anxious about the past. You cannot be anxious about what has already happened. You can be sad about it, but you can't be anxious about it. You can only and only be anxious about what is going to happen. So you are thinking about negative stuff that might happen in the future. It's not happening now, it might happen in the future, and somehow you have believed it to be true that it is going to happen, and that is why you are anxious about it. What if it happens? What if that happens? What if this happens? Right? But nothing has happened, right? So that is the basic pattern of an anxious thoughts. It's always in the future. So now, if you have understood this, that is the negative thought in the future, the first thing for you to do is to turn that negative thought forcefully initially. Initially, you will have to force it. So forcefully, you have to turn the negative thought into something positive that might also happen in the future, right? So a negative future thought will get you anxiety, right? But a positive future thought will give you excitement, right? So if you are going to think about a negative future possibility, then it is only logical that you should also think about a positive future possibility, right? Am I making sense? Because when you do that, your mind, which was only and only filled with negative future possibilities, will also be partially filled by positive future possibilities. And when that happens, my friends, your anxiety levels, your level of anxiety will go from 10 to maybe 5 or 6 or maybe 3. It will never go out, it will never be 0, and we are not even trying to do that because it's through a video it is not possible, right? You need one-to-one customized guidance for that, but through the video you can definitely manage it. So that is what our expectation is. So whenever you catch yourself getting anxious, first think about that you are thinking of a negative future event. A moment you catch hold of yourself of a negative future event, start thinking of a positive future event that can stem from the same situation. So you are thinking that the situation might go bad. It can also be the case that the situation might be good. And the possibility of that happening is 50-50. So your anxiousness should not be 100%, it should be 50%. So do that. Think about the positive possibilities and be 50% anxious. And if you be 50% anxious, I think that is a very manageable level of anxiousness that we all can handle. Point number 2, vomit out anxiety. You just vomit it out. Just like we used to do in our exams, right? We used to just learn things and just go to the exams and just vomit everything out and get the marks, right? Something like that. Whenever you are getting these anxious thoughts, whenever you're feeling anxious, take a piece of pen and paper, or pencil will also do, okay, and write down those thoughts on the piece of paper. Whatever thoughts you are getting, write it down. Whatever thoughts you're getting, write it down in descriptions, in good amount of detail. The moment you write down your thoughts on a piece of paper, your mind starts to relax. Something magical happens when you write down your thoughts on a piece of paper. I can't explain it, you'll have to experience it yourself. So take a pen and paper, write down your thoughts, and you will see the anxiety levels will decrease. And the reason for it is that your mind is just constantly thinking about this same damn thing, right? What if this, what if that, what if this, what if that. But when you write down that, so you know what if this happens, this is going to happen. If that happens, that is going to happen. If something X happens, then that's how it's going to play out. And for that, you can prepare yourself in advance. You can use your anxiety to prepare for those events in the future. Write down those points that your mind is giving you and prepare in advance. You can use your anxiety. Why do you have to fear it when you can use it? Be smart. Point number 3 is singing out anxiety technique. Now, what does that mean? Every time you get anxious and those anxious thoughts are playing in your head and it's creating havoc in your mind and you can't think of anything, start singing the song that you like the most. This is called an intervention. An intervention is nothing but when you intervene your original thoughts. In this case, your original thoughts are your anxious thoughts, right? So that is creating havoc. You're feeling bad, you're feeling anxious, you can't function properly in the world. But the moment you start singing a song that you like, that pattern of anxious thought breaks. So many of you would know Virendra Sehwag. He was an Indian batsman and he was a great Indian opener. His secret to keep his mind cool when the bowler is charging towards him and the crowd is going crazy and he is getting tensed up here because everybody is expecting out of him, he used to start singing his favorite song. And that used to relax him down a lot. Technique 4 is the most wackiest technique that I can give you, but trust me, if you can use this technique, it will instantly kill your anxiety. It is the most wackiest and simple technique available, and that is dancing anxiety technique. And what is that? As the name suggests, moment you get anxious, start dancing, start throwing your arms, start jumping around. But some of you might think, okay, dancing, again, this is very simplistic, simplistic technique, this might not work. So let me give you a background of what I am doing. So dancing might seem very simplistic, but it has a very psychological, impactful theory. Physicality is very important for how you feel. So let me challenge you on this. So I want you to dance around or maybe jump in your room and still be sad. I want you to play a music and dance and still be equally sad before you have played the music and before you have danced. I challenge you that it is impossible for you to be as depressed, as anxious, as sad as you were before you were dancing. Understood? So what happens is that emotions, right? Emotions, what is emotions? Emotions is energy in motion. So moment energy is in motion, there is a positive flow of energy. Moment energy is stagnated, that's a negative flow of energy. So people who are anxious, people who are depressed, people who are sad, they become quiet, they become secluded. But that is exactly when you have to go out, you have to be physically active. You can play a game, you can dance around in your house, you can just go for a walk, you can just go to somewhere else, right? Something that will get you physically moving. And when that happens, your emotions takes over, and as I already told you, emotion is energy in motion. So when you are moving, your energy will flow, and that will be a positive flow for you. That was only 4 of the techniques that I could share through my videos. Other techniques I have to do it customized one-to-one for very deep level anxiety. But I think these techniques will definitely help you to overcome a lot of the anxiety and bring it down to manageable level. I hope you have found value in this video, and if you do so, like, share, subscribe, and do comment on what other topics you would want me to make videos on. So that's it from me. Over and out. Jai Hind.